Crowd was incredible, full of fans, and they will love it when Caitlin and company arrive in town. Within 6 minutes, there had to be a foul on a long three, and she hit all three like the fit. You can search what you see using the Google app, and you can see that she has half of her team's points. Has been called on Indiana, and they're calling it on Caitlin Clark for the arm grab and hold. She didn't like it, but it was a foul, and now a foul will send Breanna Stewart to the line. Caitlin Clark now has 2 fouls, which can be problematic because no player ever believes they've committed both of those clear fouls. He goes to the line and knocks them both home. He's been getting there a lot this year, returning to within 1 Stewie 0 for 2 from 3 so far in this game, with Clark directing traffic before stepping back with the 3 over. Stewart, Breanna then, as she makes her way back up the court, she and Stewie have a pleasant conversation during which they both laugh at the ridiculousness of what Caitlin has done thus far. Cloud tries to respond, but the ball goes out of bounds and belongs to Indiana, clearing out that side of the floor and shooting at Stewie. Then, they watch the reaction as Stewie laughs and Caitlin knows it's ridiculous, but they're still having fun. Caitlin is now going to drive. The game was still moving when we showed the fit a little earlier, and Cam Ward had the best no call. What they were challenging was the ball being given to the New York Liberty, which was an unsuccessful challenge, and the technical free throw shot that Ionescu made. The area around Stewart's house was left open for a moment, and she nailed it. When Stewart and Mitchell faced off, Ionescu drew a foul and caught the fans' attention. This was the second time Kelsey Mitchell had attended, but also by the players, as you can see from the fact that at one end a player was fouled rather violently, and then on the other end, we apologized to Remy James Rico for showing his picture during the arena's brewing. They weren't jeering at you, big guy, and we're sorry about the timing of everything. Congratulations to Ryan and his family. This game is turning into one that will transport you back to the studio time present. There is no jealousy among the crowd. It's just a basketball and foul Mitchell. Shot clock coming off Sabi's passing for New York, they circle the horn, and Stewie finishes off glass. It's a stunning offensive possession by the New York Liberty, and their ability to distribute and move the ball is one of the reasons they've been so successful this season. Martin is attempting to respond, and she does. Caitlin Clark has already contributed more than half of her team's points. However, if there is a small amount of space, the ball bounces around and Aliyah Boston is able to catch it. Boston just has 2 points in this game, and they only made 1 of 5 shots from the field. She gets the assist on the home make, which ends a 7-point New York run save for driving on Clark. She then manages to grab the rebound and put it back in Sabi, giving her 5 boards and 8 points, along with her favorite team, the first one being Caitlin. She has 6 of them, and Clark is feeling the 3. The ball goes to the Liberty. Stewart driving on Boston after Howard gets it to Clark for another flawless feed to Hull, but it doesn't go in. She draws another foul, but it doesn't matter. Stewart delivers from the line to reduce the lead to 4, with Stewie and a whistle protecting them. Caitlin Clark is the best half of her life. I wonder how many players in the league right now have a career high of 5 points in a game, because that's what she's sitting on right now. She scored 18 points overall in the May game against New York, where she was hurt at the line. Now, we're returning to Florida State, where Sabi is winding down for challenging Clark and Caitlin is playing with 2 fouls. Izzy Harrison ball caroms is seen by Mitchell to Ionescu with 1 minute remaining. His cloud shot has been off, but Harrison is able to score 10-second chances. Clark is a little too strong, but Boston saves the possession, and Howard is now working against Harrison with a tough move defending Ionescu. Then, the switch Mitchell's on Stewie and Boston comes over to help. The ball was tipped out to Cloud Ionescu, who tries to finish the half and gets 3 more huge offensive rebounds for New York. They're letting them move around wherever they want to, and we're not finishing plays with a box out, so we need to be disciplined throughout the entire possession. With another 3 ball, and New York enters the dressing room trailing by 3, but what a show Caitlin Clark put on in her first game back, Missing the last 5 games, you wouldn't know it. Would you like to see cleaned up there? They did allow Liberty a lot of offensive rebounds in the first half as Cloud cut her way into the offensive boards, which resulted in those second possibility points. Coach White, thank you very much. Cam Ward, as we saw in the first half, Aliyah Boston, who was leading the league in field goal percentage going into this game, only made one of her 5 shots in the first half. Rebecca Lobo and Christine Williamson are joining you from another packed house here in Indianapolis. I end their first game. Clark shrewdly came over to help Cloud on defense. Ionescu for 3 points. What a fantastic and effective afternoon we've witnessed here as the Indiana Fever turn the basketball over, with the middle, Sabrina, having another excellent game. With the hot hand that was short and over the backboard, Mitchell had a cup out. Yes, even before the season began, I spoke with Sabrina, and she told me that this squad is much more confident this year than they have been in past years, because they know they have what it takes to win a WNBA championship. There is a little bit of frustration because there was a lot of physicality between Sabrina Ionescu and the player who was called for the foul in the 10-0 New York run inside another beautiful pass that seemed to have no daylight at all. But Mitchell couldn't finish it from Clark. Cloud coming out more aggressive here in the third quarter, drawing the foul. We should also mention that Dana Bonner is not available for Indiana out here dealing with some for Coach White. This confidence is demonstrated when they are able to close these games, like the one they played today. Last 2 seasons in Connecticut. Stay tuned for our next WNBA broadcast next seat. Cloud, one of the biggest pickups in the offseason. She's in her 10th year out of St. Joseph's, 6th in the league in assists going into this game, but it hasn't clicked so far. Stewie took it away from Clark, and it's off of Stewart. Indiana basketball made a great hustle after the turnover to come back and get her hand on Clark through 3 defenders there momentarily. Now she's trying to blow by everyone, and she gets the foul. With her burst of speed, Kelsey Mitchell, who hasn't made it to the playoffs since Tama Catchings retired, modified last year, receiving much-needed attention from supporters across and several media professionals. According to Ionescu, Boston Clark blocked it while searching for alternatives. Hull hits it after spotting a 3. The last few plays made the Indiana Fever appear a little more tough defensively, but they were able to go out in transition and reach their secondary, which gave them a nice appearance for Hull now that they are in double figures. Being harassed by Lexie Hull, a very skilled perimeter defender, is out there. Hull locates Boston, who had some daylight, and she makes the basket. Indiana then runs for 7 points, but nothing puts them back in top. Indiana appeared to be in control of the fourth. Basketball made a great hustle after the turnover to come back and get her hand on Clark through 3 defenders there momentarily. Now she's trying to blow by everyone, and she gets the foul. With her burst of speed, Kelsey Mitchell, who hasn't made it to the playoffs since Tama Catchings retired, modified last year, receiving much-needed attention from supporters across and several media professionals. According to Ionescu, Boston Clark blocked it while searching for alternatives. Hull hits it after spotting a 3. The last few plays made the Indiana Fever appear a little more tough defensively, but they were able to go out in transition and reach their secondary, which gave them a nice appearance for Hull now that they are in double figures. Being harassed by Lexie Hull, a very skilled perimeter defender, is out there. Hull locates Boston, who had some daylight, and she makes the basket. Indiana then runs for 7 points, but nothing puts them back in top. Indiana appeared to be in control of the fourth quarter last night, but the Thunder managed to rally and win it while flying to Oklahoma City. Today, Caitlin Clark saw her first defeat yesterday. Up until last night, they were 8-0 with her in the Pacers building. Boston made a great little ball fake, and Aliyah Boston took it to get the defender to lean and then drive the other way. She then made the defensive play to tie the score, likely missing 6 games due to a knee injury that is still healing. Caitlin was hit on her way to the lane, and Mitchell had just enough room to get the shot off, and she buried it. For Sabai, Boston boards it, and New York has missed 7 consecutive shots. As there aren't many in New York, Caitlin successfully challenged Sabai. Dry spells. This is the top-scoring team in the WNBA. Stewie collected after a bobble and threw it up as the second-half basket for Caitlin, who had scored 25 points in the first half. She made her first 4 free throws in that trip, and Clark nails it for the Fever's largest lead of the game, a 17-point lead. They're going to get another foul on Cloud, which was like a full-court one-on-one drill, after hours of trying to get and turn the corner, and Stephanie White's beautiful play over there put straight tours on the offensive end. Cloud and Clark have had some nice confrontations. Tonight, Caitlin Clark attempted to pass Natasha Cloud, resulting in 4 personal fouls. Cloud then exited, and Johannes entered. Sabi will the sprint is with the WNBA national TV schedule tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. The Chicago vs. Connecticut doublehead Thursday on Amazon begins at 7 Eastern. And then.com for all of the action. It's on the Pfizer had another big day today, over 30 points. A nice response for the Minnesota Lynx them in New York as the only unbeaten. New York coming in 9-0 today. Nice points at the free throw line there. First in the game. Now 19-0 for Indiana lead against New York back here in this building back on May 24th and lost. Burke. Mitchell found a lot of switches and provided a lot of assistance. Even after 4 minutes, Breanna Stewart has yet to score. Her height advantage over Carlson allows her to turn and score, which is amazing, and several of her mid-range finishes are really difficult. She hits it in Sydney after Carlson leaves it open. Even though Clark is out of the game, Carlson makes just her 6th 3 of the season, and they still score threes. The run by Ramirez Dantas is 25-3, making it 255. Mitchell manages to get rid of Johannes, but she is unable to get the roll off Stewie Indiana, who holds onto the ball. This presents an opportunity, much like in a hockey game. Unable to convert the line change off the inbounds, Hall Jones enters and shoots, and Stewart misses the shot and wants it back. Cunningham comes under Ionescu, and you can tell by the way she launches it that she is confident it will go in. It does, and New York now has the final 8 points of the season. High Carlson right into the defense's teeth and draws a foul, and give her credit for just her 4th free throw. Indiana gave a tough shot after a foul. Paul believed she was in that vertical position with her arms raised, but she is called for the foul. In the Voyage, one of 2 28 points as it was her turn to draw a foul. Clark attempted to split the defenders. Aliyah, great basketball players, particularly those on the defensive backline, need to be excellent communicators, as Boston is wired for sound this afternoon. Aliyah, New York finishes that quarter on a 9-2 run after trailing by as much as 16 points, and after falling behind at the half for the first time this season, they find themselves down the NBA Pamwood. Boston's wired shot clock is winding down now, and Clark is a little chancy from the logo tapped out all the way across the court to Hull. Christine Williamson and Rebecca Lobo are joining you from Indianapolis, where the Liberty are attempting to maintain their record by coming back from behind. As the league's final undefeated club, Ionescu was roughed up by Carlson, who picked up the foul. Stewart with another shot from the best angle. After missing her 3rd consecutive game due to a right ankle injury, the Liberty has recovered admirably today without